Welcome. I'm Mr. Proctor. I will be the speech and debate coach for the Capital City speech and debate team for this upcoming school year as we transition from freshmen to sophomores to juniors to eventually all four grades at Capital City High School. And so I'm looking forward to this year. It's very exciting. It's very optimistic. We get this unique opportunity as freshmen, as sophomores, to really establish a new tradition with a high school. And not only just a high school, but with a speech and debate organization, which is an extremely rare occasion. It's not often that coaches, let alone students, are the first class to do anything. And so for us and myself, it's very optimistic. I'm looking forward to this year. It's going to be wonky, to say the least, and when we get to the schedule and tournaments and things of that nature, it'll make a lot more sense why it is. But that being said, we're going to kind of brush through some introductory stuff, introduce myself, so you have kind of a face to this organization and myself, this voice, as well as go through the website and kind of set some goals for ourselves coming into this school year, because like I said, it's going to be a weird transition, but not a bad weird. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a unique one, and we're going to pull together and really have a successful season, even though we might not have a full team just yet. So first things first, when looking at this, I'm Mr. Proctor, or Cody Proctor, if you really want to know my first name. You'll never use it, and I hate it, so we can just disregard it. But there I am, right there. This is Nat Qualls 2 years ago. Although it's 2 years ago, I promise you, I haven't changed much. And so, just a little background of myself. I am a younger coach, I guess you could say. This is my 6th year in speech and debate when it comes to coaching it. I have been a part of speech and debate, or speech and debate has been a part of my life ever since high school. I started when I was a freshman, and I did it all 4 years. I went to college. I professionally competed for 2 years, and then I assisted the speech and debate team because I was taking 18 hours, and you can ask your parents, you can ask older siblings, etc. It's a lot. I wouldn't suggest any more than 15 or 16 tops when it comes to what loads you have there on your college semester class-wise. But long story short, I'm a little different when it comes to coaches, how I approach things, how I may critique you, how we go about practices, etc. But one of the big things that the kids enjoy is my name. You can call me a multitude of things. Kids in the past have gotten creative when it comes to my name. Some have called me Coach, some call me Sir, some just call me Proctor, and they just drop the Mr., which is totally fine. Other coaches and other teams freak out. They're like, you don't call your coach Mr. Proctor, and it's totally okay. I'm never offended, nor will I be upset if you say that. Just make sure it's in an appropriate tone, If it gets sassy, then we'll have problems. Some kids call me Proc, which is my favorite nickname personally. That's what my friends call me. They could get creative and call me Proctocles, Proctimus Prime. You got Crocodile Dundee, Procosaurus Rex. There's Dwayne the Proc Johnson, and my personal favorite, Tupac Shakur. So basically anything that you can do to, combine my last name plus whatever, and then you got yourself a new nickname. If it's inappropriate, just say it behind my back and we'll be just fine. So that's a little introduction into myself. I graduated from Northwest Missouri State University, NWMSU, woo woo, go Bearcats. And I have a BSED, if you care, in speech and communications, because they're two separate things, theater and English. And I have taught all of those courses over my past 5 years of teaching. And like I said, this is my 6th year into coaching and teaching. And when I student taught at my high school, I also assisted there. So I have many, many years of coaching and experience under my belts. This year, my plan period is going to be 5th hour. So if you ever need anything, you know where to get me. I'll be there. If I'm not in my room, I'm probably in the teacher's lounge or somewhere, the office, etc., making copies, handing in receipts, getting things prepped and ready for the school year. And then we have what's called Cavalier time. I believe it's during third hour this year. And this is an open time in which kids can go to their different teachers, ask for, late work, missed work. If you know you're going to be gone, hint, hint, to a speech and debate tournament. This is a great opportunity for you to seek those teachers and ask, hey, what did I miss? Or the better question is, I'm going to be gone here in a couple of days. What do I need to make up? And go from there. So that's just the rundown of who I am. Next, we're going to look at the website. Now, your homework, I guess you could call it, your assignment for the first day of camp was to look over this website. It is very, very important that you do so and you get familiar with the website because we're going to use it quite often, not only this week, but throughout the course of the year. In the classes, I'm going to upload everything that we do in class to this website so that you have an area to access all of the information. If you look, you can scroll over the home page and the resources page, and they will have the drop-down menus with other options and pages to access to go from there. If you scroll down, you've seen the little slideshow I have of these different kids. These are my past speech and debaters. They, just a bunch of goofy kids. They're very lovable, and personally, people ask me, why do I coach speech and debates, or why speech and debate in general? And my honest answer is because it makes you kids better people. Whatever it is that you want to pursue, whatever it is that you want to do for a living, whether, you want to be a teacher, for instance. If you want to be a teacher like these specific girls wanted to be and currently are pursuing. If you want, if you're currently involved in DECA or FBLA or FCCLA and you want to do better in other organizations or sports, by all means, speech and debate is the one to do it. I've already met with the FCCLA, I've already met with the FBLA teachers, or at least the sponsors, and I reach out. I say, hey, if you want your kids to do better, tell them to join speech and debates. And luckily, a good majority of them already know this. They're like, yeah, no, Proc, I came from a district and all my qualifiers were speech and debate kids. They understand and they recognize what great things our organization does for you kids. If you want to be a politician, if you want to be an archaeologist, or if you want to be like a poli-sci major, future congressman, if you want to be an animator, the point is, it doesn't matter what you want to do or who you want to be, speech and debate is one, if not the only program that can help you pursue your dreams and, most importantly, help you become a better person in those specific areas. And, most of all, you can be goofy. You're kids. It's fun. It's great. We have, an amazing time in this organization. And so it's something that I really strive to spread out to as many kids as possible. Now, obviously, scrolling down, we have like tournament information. We have the NSDA online. If you haven't already, please get an account. A majority of you, if not all of you, should have an account. It's a matter of time when they're going to transfer it over to the new Capital City account. And as soon as they get that established, I'll let you know. And then over here we have the upcoming events, and obviously this camp right there is the biggest or the most recent upcoming event here, and that probably won't change here for a couple of weeks until at least school starts. That way it gets you a better idea of what to expect. There's the Remind app. I did get a couple of updates today and probably tonight as well for a couple of kids that have signed up for Remind. Thank you. Biggest thing is if you could have your parents sign up for Remind, I'd appreciate it. That way they can be kind of in the loop about what's going on, about the most up-to-date changes and reminders that are going out, not only to you, but to them. Because I know a lot of kids, they'll just sign their parents up for Remind. And that's totally fine, because I understand why you do it. If I get mom to sign up for Remind, mom can just remind me when something's due or coming up, etc. That's perfectly fine. As long as someone in the household has this app and I can get a hold of you, the competitor, this is a great middleman and this is a great app to do that. You can either just simply follow the directions right here and get it on your cell phone, or if you want, you can follow the downloadable directions and figure out how to get it via online, email, etc. And you can sign up for your school account, your personal accounts. It doesn't matter. Either way, please sign up for it. Speaking of that, if you are interested in being an officer or an event captain, I know a lot of you are going to be sophomores, or actually probably a majority, if not all of you. You can be an officer. You can be an event captain. In fact, I encourage it. Even if you've done policy 1 year, by all means, try to be an event captain, because this will push you and challenge you to be better at those events, especially now as a sophomore. You kids have the greatest opportunity right now, and that means that you can have leadership roles at a young age. If you look over at our sister organization, the J Debaters, I guarantee you there is little to no sophomores as officers. I bet you they're all juniors and seniors. So this is a great opportunity, A, to put this on a resume, especially if you're an officer your sophomore, junior, and senior year. That's 3 years that you're an officer in speech and debate or an event captain. And you can put that on your scholarships, have a greater chance of getting those scholarships and even more money because of that. So just a food for thought right there for you. Fill out the form, email it to me by the end of the week, and that way, hopefully by this weekend and or beginning of next week at the latest, I can make my decisions about who is what and etc. And then finally, last but not least, if you need to contact me at all, my information is right there. There's, first name, last name, my position, obviously coach, and then email. If you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to email me. It's probably the best way to contact me, and so I highly and strongly suggest that you do that. Here are the events for students to participate in. Now, the worksheet that you filled out already kind of addressed this, but by all means, if you want to resend it, you can. Looking here, I split them up into these 3 categories. There's Lincoln Douglas, or there's the debate, there's the speech, and then there are IEs. I suggest that you sign up for 1 debate and either or 1 IE or 1 speech. Preferably pick 2 of these just in case. There's, 15 people who want to do DI. I don't want to have 15 DIs on one team because we want to spread it out. That way it gives us the best advantage at districts as well as just daily tournaments, or weekly tournaments. So just food for thought there. If you need suggestions, want suggestions, etc., by all means, I am more than willing to give those. For instance, a lot of policy kids tend to find a lot of success in Congress because they tend to be similar. It's about a process. It's about should we or should we not pass this, and getting into more details about how specifically we should or can or can't pass these specific laws, regulations, etc. So just an idea and food for thought when it comes to that.